If you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
Breaking tonight, former President Donald Trump shot while holding a rally in Pennsylvania. Hundreds of people in the stands, then fleeing the area.
People were saying, get down, get down. Even I was saying, get down.
We just heard like a bullet. I mean, you just seen him like swipe his ear there, you know. The next thing you know, you heard other bullets.
President Biden now addressing the nation.
The bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem.
ABC 13 is live breaking down reaction from our lawmakers and recapping this incident that sent shockwaves around the country.
News coverage you can count on. This is ABC 13 News at 11.
If you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
We want to get right to breaking news tonight. Former President Donald Trump was rushed off stage at his rally in Pennsylvania after shots rang out. This is video from the event. Secret Service swarmed the stage to protect him and got him off that stage immediately to take him for an evaluation. Trump's spokesperson says the former president is fine and that he thanks law enforcement for their quick response. And take a look at some of these pictures from the rally moments after the gunshots rang out. You can see the blood on the right side of his face and on his ear right there. You can see where the Secret Service swarmed the stage and gathered around him to protect him. And moments after, right there on your screen, you can see him emerge with his fist in the air, letting people know he was okay. Now, according to authorities, what happened today is being investigated as a possible assassination attempt. Pennsylvania officials say live rounds were fired outside of the security perimeter. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger told ABC News, quote, "The shooter is dead and a bystander is dead." He also says 2 other bystanders are seriously injured. President Trump has issued a statement following what happened today at his rally. He writes, quote, "I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America." And former President Donald Trump's presidential campaign confirms he will be attending the GOP convention in Milwaukee next week after surviving what's being investigated as an assassination attempt. National correspondent Kayla Gaskins joins us from Capitol Hill with the details on this developing situation.
Donald Trump releasing a statement in the hours after the attack saying he was shot by a bullet that pierced his upper ear. He also thanked the Secret Service for their action and gave condolences to the rally attendee who died. Trump's campaign confirmed the former president is fine and that he was checked out at a local medical facility. A political rally turned into a crime scene.
This is a big crowd. This is a big, big, beautiful crowd.
As the former president spoke to his supporters in Butler, Pennsylvania Saturday, gunshots ripped through the air. Donald Trump seen reaching for his ear before dropping to the ground. Secret Service immediately rushing the stage to surround him. Screams heard in the crowd. Go. After a few tense moments, the former president on his feet. Blood spattered across his cheek and ear. Trump giving a fist bump as Secret Service whisked him away to the hospital. The Associated Press reporting the shooter is dead, along with one rally attendee. President Biden said he would be speaking to Trump and condemned the violence.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick.
Republican House Majority Leader Steve Scalise was shot in 2017 by a left-wing activist. On Saturday, Scalise writing, "For weeks, Democrat leaders have been fueling ludicrous hysteria that Donald Trump winning re-election would be the end of democracy in America. Clearly, we've seen far-left lunatics act on violent rhetoric in the past. This incendiary rhetoric must stop. We spoke with a Trump supporter who was 6 rows from the stage.
Just a sad day for America. Just a really sad day for America. The vibe was, it was open with prayer. People were united. This is America. This is freedom, regardless of your politics.
This rally was supposed to be a celebratory moment for Trump heading into the GOP convention in Milwaukee that starts Monday. The convention will no doubt have a very different feel with tighter security now on tap in the wake of Saturday's shooting. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
And everyone has been tweeting about this incident tonight. ABC 13's Brittany Slaughter joins us live in studio to share what our local and state lawmakers have to say. Brittany?
Well, Kelsey, Delegate Wendell Walker issued this tweet saying, "Please join me in praying for President Donald Trump, his family, and all those who were injured or in attendance at the Trump rally today. Political violence in any form has no place in our country." Virginia Senator Tim Kaine also tweeted. He said, "I'm deeply concerned by this situation and am praying for President Trump and everyone at today's event." Now, he's not the only one. Morgan Griffith also weighing in, saying President Trump injured at a rally in Pennsylvania. Please pray for him to be fine. And of course, hearing from Senator Mark Warner as well, there is no place for political violence in a democracy. I'm monitoring this terrible situation and praying for all of those at the Pennsylvania rally. We also hear from Senator John McGuire, state senator that is, praying for President Trump and our country. And as well as Congressman Ben Klein, Elizabeth's and my thoughts are with President Trump and his family. Thank you to the brave Secret Service agent who risked their lives to protect our president. Also hearing from our governor, Glenn Youngkin. He tweeted, "Suzanne and I are praying for President Trump, praying for his family, and praying for America." Kelsey, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much, Brittany. And the Democratic Party of Virginia is also reacting to this tragedy. Their chairwoman, Susan Swecker, released a statement saying, quote, "Political violence has no place in our society. I am horrified by today's shooting, but am relieved that Donald Trump says he is not seriously hurt. I wish him a quick recovery and pray for those who were killed and injured at today's rally, as well as their families." And President Biden has confirmed that he spoke to Trump in a phone call. He also released this statement saying in part, quote, "I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who were at that rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it." And the Secret Service has released a timeline of what they believe happened after many were wondering how this all went down. They say it happened around 6:15 at the rally when a suspected shooter fired multiple shots toward the stage from an elevated position outside of the rally venue. U.S. Secret Service personnel neutralized the shooter, who is now deceased. U.S. Secret Service quickly responded with protective measures, and the former president is safe and being evaluated. One spectator was killed. 2 spectators were critically injured. The incident is currently under investigation, and the Secret Service has formally notified the FBI.